In this first episode, we're going to cover some Laravel stuff that's going to happen in 5.5. We're going to talk about some VueJS components. We're going to talk about some HTML, CSS, and JavaScript libraries. And then we'll also talk about some random cool stuff on the web. So a repo that's been trending is called Laravel 0, and Laravel 0 is a PHP or a Laravel project that allows you to create some console applications. So it's really cool because you can use Laravel to create these console apps. You can check out the repo and figure out how to install it, and then you can do a build for Linux, Windows, or Mac, and you can have a file that you can double click and it will open up Terminal and run your console app. So go ahead and check out this project and start creating some cool console apps. Next, Laravel IO got a new facelift, and they also have some pretty good forums that can come in handy for helping you out with multiple Laravel issues. So check out the new design that Laravel IO implemented, and I believe they also implemented a whole new code structure or file structure. So their application is working really well. Go ahead and check it out at laravel.io. And if you ever struggle remembering people's birthdays, what they like, what they don't like, well, you got to check out Monica HQ. Monica HQ is an open source app built on Laravel that will help you manage your personal relationships. So you can download this application and you can have a self-hosted version of the app, or you can choose to use their hosted solution. So go ahead and check out this project and stop forgetting people's birthdays. Next, a few updates to Laravel 5.5. that you probably have already heard about is that Laravel 5.5 will have the new whoops error messages back instead of the current error messages that they have, which aren't very descriptive. So if you remember back in Laravel 4, there was an error message package called whoops, and this was a really nice error message. So when your application takes a crap, you can actually figure out where it went wrong. So whoops adds this really nice interface to allow you to figure out exactly where your code went wrong. So the whoops error messaging will be coming back to Laravel 5.5. And a thing that I'm really excited about in Laravel 5.5 is package auto discovery. So Taylor Otwell and the creator of Composer worked on this new feature called package auto discovery. And if you've ever installed a package, you know that after you do Composer require, you usually have to include the service provider in your config app.php. Well, now whenever you install a package, it will auto discover that service provider. So now you can just do Composer require, and that package will automatically be integrated into your application. So we'll just make it one step easier for including packages in your apps. Okay, moving on over to VueJS. So there are some cool components that have recently been released, and one of them is a VueJS popover. So this is also kind of a tooltip, but it's called a popover, and it's a really easy way to implement popovers or tooltips in your VueJS application. So you can go to the GitHub repo, you can figure out how you can install this in your Vue app and add some awesome and pretty looking popovers. If you ever want to have an image gallery in your application, you got to check out the Vue image gallery component. You can really easily add some image galleries to your Vue application just by simply including this component in your project. So go ahead and check out the GitHub repo and maybe use it in your next application. So have you ever been to one of those sites that you scroll down and these animations start happening, they just start popping up? Well, you can go ahead and do this functionality with a new library called tscroll. So you can easily just include this JavaScript and CSS file in your application, and you add these cool classes to your elements, and as the user scrolls down, the animations or the divs will be displayed. So go ahead and check out this really cool project on GitHub and maybe use it in your next project. Solid colors are dead. Now people are using gradients and hues, so why not use some cool hues? Cool hues, you can find some cool hues that you can use on your background or in panels or anywhere on your site. So you can check out this project and you can find out a cool gradient that you can use in your application. So it's just a really simple way to find a color that looks really nice and add it as a gradient on your site. Next, if you hate working with arrays in JavaScript, you got to check out collect.js. Collect.js has a lot of helpers and a lot of functions that make manipulating and just kind of playing around with arrays so much easier. So check out collect.js on GitHub and use it in your next project to make manipulating arrays super simple. So a few cool things that you may also want to check out is this emoji guide, and it is a guide that can show you how to add emojis to your Git commits. So Git commits are usually very boring and not too descriptive. So why not add a poop emoji or a celebrate emoji? It'll just a way of kind of adding some emojis to your Git commits to make them not so boring. So this guide will show you how you can easily add these emojis to your Git commits. And if you've ever wanted to work with an API for your bank, I don't know if you have Wells Fargo, you have Bank of America, whichever bank you have, a lot of them don't really have these APIs that you can interact with. Well, now using Teller.io, you can connect any bank with their API. So they kind of work as an in-between between your bank and you can interact with your data in your bank account. So it's pretty cool. Check out Teller.io, and now you have an API for your bank and all of your finances that you can play around with and create some cool apps. So you got to check out this Mario augmented reality that this guy did. He went to New York City and put on a virtual headset, and he created this Super Mario Brothers augmented reality. So you can see he starts walking through New York City Park, and he looks like he's playing the level 1 of Mario. So you got to check out this video. It is pretty cool. If you're a fan of Mario and old school games like that, then you'll definitely like this video. So just a couple weeks ago, I recently got a ticket because I had my phone right next to me and I got a notification. So I picked up my phone as I was driving, and I looked at the notification, and obviously it wasn't anything too important. And then I put my phone down, and immediately I seen sirens right behind me, and I got pulled over and I got a ticket because I had my phone in my hand. So now with iOS 11, they're going to have a new feature which is called Do Not Disturb While Driving. So you can turn this setting on, and when you are driving, it will not send you alerts. So then you can be safer on the road and prevent yourself from getting a ticket. So last up is this really cool deck of cards called Air Deck, and they have a Kickstarter project going. It's already fully funded, but you may want to check it out if you've ever been somewhere and you're like, hey, that'd be cool if I had a deck of cards. I don't know if that really comes up too often, but this deck of cards is really cool. It is waterproof, they are rip-proof, and they are super small, and they can fit in your pocket or fit anywhere. So check out this Kickstarter project. It is very cool. So that is it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to do these episodes every week. If you have any suggestions for me, please let me know. And until the next episode, I will see you guys later.